Tonight on the Sports Desk, see how LSU men's basketball did in the second attempt at beating Auburn.
And Tiger TV sports reporter Alex Jett talks LSU track and field.
Plus, get an inside look at one of the LSU gymnasts in her collegiate career with the Tigers. All this and more, Sports Desk starts right now. Good evening, Tigers. Thanks for joining us. My name is Hunter Lovell.
And I'm Zoyce Manners. Welcome to the Sports Desk. Men's basketball's losing streak continues. The Tigers were defeated by Auburn last night at home in front of only a handful of fans. Tiger TV sports reporter Reggie Chapman has more.
I'm sitting here post-game in the Pete Maravich Assembly Center following LSU's 14th straight loss. And while the stadium is empty now, there weren't too many more people here during actual game time. Only 6,638 people were on hand to watch Auburn get a 23-point win against LSU.
They had about 4 or 5 guys in double figures, made plays tonight, and unfortunately on the defensive end, we just weren't keyed in tough enough to get enough stops to get a victory tonight.
We turned the ball over a couple times. I think it hit off Duwop's foot one time. Wade dropped it one time. I think I might have turned it over once. We turned it over a few times in a row then, so we wasn't getting attempts. We was just turning the ball over.
I think that just kind of played in with them, just us not moving the ball well, not getting it from side to side on the court, and forcing us to just take bad shots.
Does this hurt more than any other, or do they all kind of feel the same when you lose?
They all feel the same.
Following the win, Auburn's head coach Bruce Pearl still gives Johnny Jones credit for keeping his team together during this tough stretch.
You know, you look at them play at Ole Miss, and they could have won that game. And you look at the numbers they put up against Kentucky. And, you know, you look at them in the first half against us and things like that, and they're still engaged. It's just a grind. This is a tough year for them. Next year will be better.
We've just got to continue pressing forward because there are games on our schedule. We must play them, and we must continue trying to improve to get better, to have success in them. And so we understand the hurt that's out there, and we hurt for ourselves and others, and that's why we will continue to fight.
Next on the schedule for LSU, the Tigers go on the road to play Georgia before coming back home for the final time this season to play against Tennessee. Reporting on the Tigers from the PMAC, Reggie Chapman, Tiger TV Sports.
The Tigers dropped their 14th straight game, and the only thing Tiger fans can really do is move on. And we will do the same to gymnastics with sports reporter Chris Kirchen.
Thanks, Zoyce. The LSU gymnastics team is off to a fantastic start this season. The team is 10-1, and they just set the school record with their 15th consecutive meet, posting a score of 197 or better. One of the reasons why the team has had success it's having this season is because of sophomore Lexi Priesman. Lexi has competed in events around the world before she came to LSU. I spoke with Lexi on her journey to LSU and what drives her every day.
Sophomore Lexi Priesman established herself as one of the best gymnasts in the country before she even stepped foot onto the LSU campus.
It was truly amazing. I look back at all of the stuff that I got out of it, and I look back and I think of all the girls that I've met through this experience, and now being able to compete at a college level with them is just something that we've all loved and we've wished for. I look back at that too, and I kind of remember every little detail about different places that I went to. Like Japan was probably by far my favorite.
Lexi has won 13 gold medals and 5 silver medals, including 2 golds at the Pacific Rim Championships in 2012.
We competed in Seattle, and I got to compete with my best friend growing up, and her and I both just had a really good competition that meet, and we got to compete with Gabby Douglas, I think it was, Kyler Ross, and Jordan Weaver. So those are 3 big names, and knowing that we got to compete with them is just something that you take out of it.
Lexi knew early on that she had the talent to compete at a high level.
I would say I was probably 13 years old when I realized that gymnastics is something that I knew that I had the ability to continue in my lifetime.
It also helps to have some key figures in her life for guidance. 2008 Olympic gold medalist Nastia Liukin was a big influence in helping her throughout her career.
Nastia won the Olympics, so obviously she's someone that everyone looks up to, and being an athlete growing up, I mean, she's just someone that you can always look towards wanting to become like one day. And knowing that I finally have reached where I want to reach is something that I want to thank them for.
But the biggest supporters of her junior career are the ones you'll see in the stands.
My family is just someone that they've always supported me since day one, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here today. And my family is just the greatest people in my life, and I actually get emotional talking about them because without them, it's just, I wouldn't be doing gymnastics, something I truly love to do.
When her junior career was over, Lexi originally committed to Georgia to compete collegiately. Eventually, that idea changed.
Something told me one day, LSU's open. They're ready for a visit. So I'm like, okay. So I decided to take a visit, and as soon as I got on campus, it was just something that hit me inside, and I knew this is where I belong.
For Tiger TV Sports, I'm Chris Kirchin.
Priesman was an integral part of the team that finished as runners-up in last year's Super 6, and she will be again as the Tigers look to improve this year on that second-place finish. LSU's next meet is Friday at Auburn. Hunter, back to you.
Thanks, Chris. Coming off of their 70-65 loss to the Georgia Bulldogs this past Saturday, the Lady Tigers remain focused on their ultimate goal. They held a media session Tuesday talking about what mistakes they made and how they plan to turn it around for their next opponent.
You can't afford to be tired in those periods. It's overtime, no matter what, you got to get it done, tired or not. But I think it showed that we were a little fatigued.
We try to take it one step at a time because just like in the game, we try to take it one possession at a time and try to make it happen. We know we need this win. So right now, our focus should be only on Thursday, not NCAAs or whatever. But we know we need those wins to get to NCAA tournament. So we need to take it game by game.
We just need these wins. We need to go with our head held high, not frustrated from the game against Vandy, our last home game. So we need to put our big girl panties on and go to work.
The Lady Tigers will be back in action tomorrow night as they go head-to-head with Auburn on the road. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, reporter Alex Jett takes us into LSU Track and Field's record-breaking weekend.
This past weekend, the Tigers indoor track and field team shattered the LSU school record in both the men's and women's distance medley relay, setting a time that has the possibility of breaking the SEC championship meet record this coming weekend. The athletes said they're confident in their ability to set records.
Well, I know we have a little bit of a rivalry, so I'm really hoping that we can bring home an SEC title in the DMR this weekend.
Definitely be interesting. Usually at SEC, everybody's running really tactically because you've done multiple races. And so a lot of people are just trying to get their points. But if the right race happens and enough people go out quick and everything, I think we can be in contention.
But Coach Robinson said that the record is not the team's main focus this weekend, but instead the focus is on performance in individual events for better chances at national qualification.
My focus is to make sure that they're prepared and ready for the open events, and then once we get to the DMR, we'll see how that plays out because, some of the guys and girls are ranked pretty high in the nation in their open events, so that's going to be our main focus until we get to the DMR, and they're going to have to run pretty fast to not only make the finals and be top 3, but I have some people that's trying to win those events, and they might have to run extremely fast for that.
Winning these events is much easier said than done. Arkansas has been a powerhouse in middle and long distance events for the past 3 years and proves to be a potent rival in the coming weekend.
It's kind of, I don't know, the past 2 years we've gotten second to Arkansas, so I know for my senior season I'd like to bring home a title.
Arkansas has won the last 3 or 4 years at DMR. Arkansas is traditionally a middle distance / distance school, so that's kind of their thing. And I think we've been second the last 3 years, and so it'd be nice to go in there and try to get a win.
You can find the indoor track team in Nashville, Tennessee this weekend racing for gold at the SEC Championship meet. Those athletes have certainly achieved a lot this season, but they're well aware of the fierce competition that stands in the way of a conference title. Zoyce, Hunter, back to you guys.
Thanks, Alex. When we come back, we'll take a look at one positive point from LSU's loss last night.
Sports Desk will be right back.
Let's take a look back at men's basketball for just a second. In the last seconds of the game, with the inevitability of yet another loss on the horizon, one Tiger made the most of his opportunity.
17 seconds remaining.
What a season for the senior forward. He's averaging a career high in points per game with 1.5. Well, thanks for joining us, Tigers. That's all we have time for tonight. And make sure, go ahead.
And be sure to check us out on Tiger TV Sports on LSUnow.com, Twitter, and Facebook. Till then, see you next week.